Let's make a convertible bracelet to necklace with the happiest beads around. Inside your kit you will find all of your jewelry findings, a beautiful bag of beads, a clothespin, a jump ring opener and closer, and a length of beading wire. In a closer look at our bag of findings, we should have a lobster clasp, jump rings, chain, and crimp tubes. First, let's grab our chain and our beading wire. Find that last link on your chain and thread the beading wire through about an inch, folding it in on itself, creating a U shape. At this point, let's pick up a crimp tube. Find the opposite end of the beading wire, and we are going to slide that crimp tube on, guiding it all the way to the other end, making sure it goes over both legs of the U shape that we just made. Scoot your crimp tube no closer to the chain than I have it here, because we need enough space to crimp it flat. Grab yourself a clothespin and close your clothespin over that crimp tube, being extra careful to get just the crimp tube and not the chain. Once your clothespin is in place, we're going to give it a hard squish for 5 seconds. Remove the clothespin and give your beading wire a couple of firm tugs. We really want that crimp tube to stay in place. I find it easiest to clean in between, so we're going to put the rest of our jewelry findings into that Ziploc bag and set it to the side for now. Open up your bead bag and find a couple of beads that have bigger holes. The teeny tiny beads are just going to be a little bit too small for this step. We need something that will fit over both of these lengths. Once you've found something that works, slide them onto the beading wire, making sure you cover both of the ends of the U fully. This step usually only requires a couple of beads. This next step is my favorite part. Continue to slide the beads on the wire, adding all the fun colors to our piece. If you need a break, just use your clothespin to pinch where you left off. This will ensure that you keep your design intact. I will usually stop every once in a while just to make sure I'm not going too heavy with one color or one type of bead, but besides that, there are no rules, so just have fun with it. Keep adding beads until you're happy with the length. At any point, you can wrap it around your wrist to get a custom fit. You can also compare it to a necklace that you love the length of and see how the two compare. You are truly making your own customized piece here, so play around with the design process. Once you're happy with the length and fit, you'll have 2 options to finish your piece. But first, let's clean up any of our extra beads. Option 1. Remember those findings? Let's open that bag up again and find a crimp tube. Just like we did at the beginning of our piece, slide it onto the beading wire. And create a U shape by threading that end back through the crimp tube. this point, I like to use my clothespin here to tug on the excess beading wire for me as I pinch and hold that crimp tube in place. Next, we'll grab a jump ring and we're going to slide that through the loop we just created with our crimp tube. Let's pick up a lobster clasp next, and we're going to slide that onto the jump ring we just added. Now, one of the most important lessons a jeweler can learn, how to close a jump ring. Watch how I slide that jump ring into the groove of the opener while I'm pinching it with my right hand, the opening facing me. I give it a little wiggle back and forth, pull it off. Now see how that didn't completely close? Let's try that again and wiggle it a bit more in place until we have a completely closed jump ring. Some might find it a little bit easier to use a very useful tool, your own hands, to wiggle this back and forth. Option 2. Again, we're going to find that crimp tube and slide it onto the beading wire. Next, you're going to grab that lobster clasp and slide it directly onto the wire. Thread the end of the beading wire back through the crimp tube and pull the excess wire tight. Be extra careful not to get that beading wire caught on anything. Regardless of which option you chose, this next step is the same. Grab your clothespin and close it over just the crimp tube. Be extra sure that you're only squishing the tube at this step, and again, squish for 5 seconds as hard as you can. You're gonna need a scissor for this next step. Cut off the excess wire as close to the beads as you can, and give your piece a couple of tugs as we don't want these beads to go anywhere. If you're worried, you can always go back over with your clothespin. Our final step is to admire this lovely piece of jewelry that you made just for you. I love this project as every single piece is unique and so full of color, and look, you even have excess beads left for another project. Happy crafting!